ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Shyzalosophy 101. Yeah. Here's your host, Shyzabox. Oh, is that our introduction? Oh, it must be. We hear him calling our name. Whoa, whoa, girl, whoa, go, calm down. How do you get to work? Get out of here. And the horse you rode in on. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Nuns, welcome all. That's right. Priests, preachers, cardinals, bishops, rabbis, whoever, whoever's around kicking it and having a good time, doing whatever they do. Welcome one, welcome all. We've got a fantastic show for you tonight. That's right. By fantastic, we mean, well, at least we showed up and we got a show for you. Now, you might be saying, why show up at all, right? Why do that of venturing out and undertaking that of what we have inherently taken upon ourselves, okay, to bring it to fruition with an individual earlier that was watching, the stream. We were chatting a little bit there, and it was a little, their name. Their username's Lil. So when Lil something was talking about, is mayonnaise an instrument, right? Yes, inherently very funny. Yes, is mayonnaise an instrument? That was what was posed to us earlier on the chat. Okay, so when that was given to us as a form of a question, us being a genuine, grounded philosopher of sorts, we thought to ourselves, how can we correlate that of mayonnaise, which is instrumental in nature, to design and inherently that of what in essence is the epitome of playing the instrument known as mayonnaise, okay? Now, yes, hello and hi. Earlier on the stream, okay, someone asked, is Mayo an instrument? We took it upon ourselves to venture into the psyche that is our minds, okay, and say to them, yes, on South Park, thusly, once upon a time it was, okay? Now, anyone can say that mayonnaise is an instrument, or claim it to be, and never follow up or through with it. How are you? We are fine. We're actually doing even more fine now because, yes, hello and hi. Hello and hi. We're doing even more super fine now because we have gotten up and running a demo version of our hay. Well, excellent. We laid it out for our horse earlier. We were feeding them, because we don't know how you get to work. But when we're feeding old Sally here, that's what we call her. Don't worry about it. All right, stop hogging the show, Sally. Get out of here. Point is, no real animals are harmed in the making of this. Don't worry about it. Yes. It's not a real horse. Don't worry about it. But we know that the powers of our prowess and techniques and, all of this crazy high-tech stuff we have around here, comes through and might seem like a real, horse. Oh, hat! Yes, obviously. Our hat. You like our hat. Yes. Well, that's mighty kind of you to say. So, Josui, we can call you Josui, right? Of course we can. So, J-Dog, we were talking earlier, all right, on the streamification, okay? That's streamer talk for a live stream, okay? So we were talking on the streamification. Sorry, we'll use non-streamer lingo so that you can keep up. When we were talking on stream earlier, we always get sidetracked, right? Someone asked, is mayonnaise an instrument? We dared say yes when we correlated it to that of where we've seen it instrumentally, played and such as on South Park. So we took it upon ourselves to make a working demo. You can literally go and play Mayomental right now. Go to the IPFS site, should you choose to, okay? All for philosophical entertainment. Use at your own risk, okay? But you can go to the IPFS site right now. Link in the chatification description. Not the chat. There's no link there. Or there is, and if someone put it there, they probably shouldn't have. Don't click on any random links. You're going to get us in trouble. Point blank. You can go to the scriptification, go to the IPFS, go down to the audio. It's the third one. It's under Kalimba, okay? Or you would just right under the LimeWire inspired music player, okay? So, I mean, hell, go to the IPFS. If you can make it that far without stopping at a game or stopping to read some crazy cosmological, philosophical stuff we put on there. Whatever. You can literally go play mayonnaise, though, right now. You stick the fist, you guide how far up and down you want the fist in the mayonnaise jar, and it makes the sound. Go to the IPFS, we made the working demo, okay? You think that we play and joke around on stream when we say we want to make stuff with people, and then someone ventures to just say something fairly crazy like, oh, it's mayonnaise an instrument? Well, it is now, motherfucker, because it literally exists, okay? That's what's so great about being good old-fashioned Shyzabox, okay? You joke around and ask us if mayonnaise is an instrument, thinking that you're going to get one better on us. Well, from the looks of it, society has now benefited from your greatness in asking us a ridiculous question. That's right. Now everyone can go to the IPFS site, scroll down, and check out Granny's Mayo meter when you're jabbing the fist up and down. Now, it's the first working demo. We could tweak it up, sure, but where's our incentivization to do that? You know how much we made on our literary sales last month as far as our revenues? 11 cents. It's not a joke, Internet. It's kind of sad. Point is that you joke around. You ask if mayonnaise is an instrument, and it is now. Yes, and it's good fun. Let's check in on these ones of chat we have missed. Do we play any instruments? Not well. We do play digital kalimba, though, now, and our digital kalimba on the IPFS site, you can record your own kalimba playing. But if there is one thing that we would want to say is that, yes, we are a rather talented kalimba player ourselves, okay? And that's right. Not something that we like to admit often, but in our book, Nailing Kalimba, okay, one of our newest ones out, in our book, Nailing Kalimba, we venture upon the philosophical entertainments of resonantial greatness, okay? Now, the whole thing's not about kalimba, obviously, but we like to think that it paints an accurate representation of where kalimba fit into our lives whenever we wrote this book, okay? Don't worry about it. You might be saying that you don't believe us, okay? Just like someone asking if Mayo is an instrument, not believing you that literally a working digital Mayo instrument demo exists right now. You could bet someone $1, be like, bet there's a working Mayo instrument demo on Web3 right now. They'd be like, I'll take that bet. You know what you just made? If you collect on that $1, we made 11 cents last month on our literary works. That means you came out better than us by like 89 cents. We didn't say we can't math. It just takes us a while sometimes. Yeah, that's right. We're normal, average, ridiculous after all. Close enough. Let's check in these ones in chat. Instruments, yes, we covered that. Do we stream every day? Well, we have been in we stream more often now. We try to, of course. We usually try and hit the morning hours for the most part. When we're enjoying our first cup of, beverage in the morning and such, before we get to about cup number sip 7, right? Which is what we streamed earlier, cup number sip 7. It's right after cup number 5. Before one of the other ones. It doesn't matter, okay? Point is that we try to on a regular basis, but we have a lot of little hands in the fire, okay? Now, that doesn't mean that we have literally taken Bob here, locked him up, and put his other hand in the fire and said, Bob, you want to keep your other one? You best do what we say. Okay, nothing to do with that. No, not those literal hands in the fire, but we try and keep busy amongst a variety of things with, random, article thingies and, trying to make some headway in some theoretical endeavors and things of that nature, which, again, reminder to everyone, all of this is for philosophical entertainment, and it is this point in time in the stream, we like to take the time to apologize for our last stream. So, sorry about that. All right, excellent. So, now that that's clarified and we've taken it upon ourselves to completely apologize for any mishaps earlier, you heard it yourself, obviously. Yeah, it doesn't matter. We try and stream more often than we were, but, you know, our schedule's constantly changing. Right now, we're not under an NDA and we don't work for any company. So, any day, if we keep cranking out crazy demos and, like, doing all this, like, you know, just wonky stuff day of and you know, doing this, theoretically, some kind of entity, okay, is going to be like a trillionary kind of Elon Musk guy, right? And they're just gonna load a briefcase full of cash and be like, hey, you know, if you sign this NDA, we'll give you this briefcase full of cash if you stop making all of this cool shit on Web3. Alright? Now, we got a LimeWire-inspired music player. It's up and running. It's the first audio, you know, link on the IPFS itself. We got a working swarm mesh demo. I mean, we've set you up, internet. I mean, when do we get to collect, right? Never. Close enough. Point being is, even if we never do, it doesn't matter, because we enjoy, like we said earlier, working with the community to bring that of which we do to whoever wants to take part in it. Why don't you go enjoy your Saturday night and get drunk instead of wasting your time talking to 9 randos on YouTube? No. Wasting our time talking to 9 randos on YouTube? Never. No, 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 no. For you see, whilst it might look like wasting time talking to 9 randos on YouTube, it's not that at all. Even if it were just 1 rando on YouTube, and or even if it was just our only fan on YouTube. Hi, Mom. Then we would take it upon ourselves to continue to still do the show. See, there's no going and enjoying our Saturday night doing something else, getting, as you say, drunk instead of wasting our time and talking to 9 randos on YouTube, because we don't care about talking to 9 randos on YouTube, and getting drunk is a construct. With what shall we do with after we get drunketh? Shall we get sober? Shall we get headacheeth? Shall we get a bill from a bar on a tab that we made 11 cents literally last month in our literary book revenue sales? Not a joke, internet. With what benefit is of getting drunk to us tonight on a Saturday night versus talking to 9 people, 1 person's 0 people's? Well, it's of 0 benefit for us personally. Now, to each his own. We dare not say how one other should live in their life or endeavors or anything like that. This is all for philosophical entertainment. Everything and everyone has their own opinionated beliefs on this, that, the other, okay? But when inherently our goal is to create, all right, to provide and to do, all right, even inherently in those times where there is 1s of person, 2s of people, 9s of people, 30 of people, okay? It doesn't matter, because inherently the work itself is what's being done, all right? Because not all 1s of people, 9s of people, 30 of people are necessarily going to watch the entire thing. They're not going to watch it at the same time. They're not going to watch the complete versions and all iterations. You know, they're going to skip around. They're going to fast forward to the end. They're going to whatever. Okay? They're going to get bored. They're going to leave. They're going to whatever. All right? Everyone's going to catch different components and aspects and have different iterations and ideas of what necessarily transpired on the entire stream. So for us, it's not a waste in just creating a video for everyone to take whatever piece of they want with it, because inevitably the entire goal of tonight is a little bit, all right, now this is the humanity in us getting the better of us. A little bit of it is bragging rights, okay? Just a little bit, okay? Because we literally took a comment earlier that someone made, which was out of, you know, jest, and turned it into a working demo that is available now. Not only that, but it's the most absurd, ridiculous thing you would ever fathom or think of doing, okay? A mayonnaise musical simulator maker where you adjust the fist going in and out of a mayonnaise jar. Fantastic. Should have already existed. If it already did, you don't know where it was. But now there's a free version of it. And It's good old-fashioned fun. Punk Rock Review and I are best friends. Well, of course we are, Rue. You know, Rue, we can call you Rue, right? Of course we can. We're best friends. Our money. So, our money, we've gone back for ones of streams. You know, and we think to ourselves, our money, when we consider best friends, there's no more best friends than the best offerings of what friendship in itself is. And believe you me, yes, whatever they say is correct. Excellent. Let's check this other ones of chat. Getting drunk is fun. Well, to each his own. You know, we're not going to necessarily encourage that of which we don't partake in and do ourselves, but, you know, that's just our own personal choice, right? To us, it's not as fun. To us, you know, we would rather take that 11 cents we made in literary revenue. You laugh. We're a paid author, Internet. Our literary works exist. Let out. Go to Amazon.love.com. Transmutating God. Pickled Punk Philosophy. Our poetry book. Nailing Kalimba. New non-native species on mankind's origin. They're all there. Point is, we'd rather take that 11 cents that we made, and because we called Daryl Dixon dibs on being the best of the worst internet celebrity there is, okay, we are going to take that 11 cents we're reinvesting that right back here into this channel. That's right, the 11 cents that this community helped us raise in donations and reading our literary works last month, we are putting that 11 cents directly back into this channel. It's not a joke. Hey, we're going to find something to do with it. Maybe we can hang it up in the background. Maybe we can frame it, okay? Because we're a paid author now. 11 cents is 11 cents. You laugh all you want, Internet, you know. We like to think of that as a win. But everyone has different wins. Getting drunk is one. How much do you bench deadlift? Well, how much do we bench and deadlift? Well, not a lot nowadays. You know, back in the day we used to, you know, do, I don't know, not a lot. Yeah, I mean, they made us do it when we used to play football. We used to, you know, I don't know, probably somewhere in between 200 and 300 range or whatever. Not a lot. We're not bench persons as this is. Now, leg press and leg squats, we can get up to at least like, well, before, you know, when we would stretch. We'd have to stretch a lot now. We'd probably have to build to it too. I'll bet we could do now probably like 5 pounds. How much is that? Is that a lot? That's probably a lot. However, whatever sounds impressive, that's probably what we do. Okay? Yep. And however much you lift, we lift that plus 1 pound, actually. We have birds land on it like cartoons and things of that nature. No, we joke. You probably lift and bench that of way more than us. We didn't even know people asked that question just, you know, blanketedly out of nowhere. Now, when someone asked us earlier, is mayonnaise a musical instrument? And we're like, it is now, MF, right? And we literally made a mayonnaise demo that's available now on the IPFS. Okay? You know, yeah, we didn't know that blanketedly. We needed to know what our bench number was. I guess we should make it back to a gym we haven't gone to in decades, which, believe you me, we should. No one's arguing that. In fact, maybe this will be the final motivation that gets us to do that. But, you know, we prefer to be motivated financially. Good luck. All right, so where were we? Yes. So earlier, when someone asked if mayonnaise was an instrument, okay, and we figured that it needed to be if it wasn't, and that it's a service that needed to be provided, all right, for those who needed to check into Granny's Mayo meter, okay? Now, you might just need a blanketed link, okay, to send someone whenever they are referencing mayonnaise as a sound, okay, in your life, or mayonnaise as an obstacle in your life, or mayonnaise as something that they're a little too close to in their lives that affects your life, okay? It doesn't matter the degree, all right, of mayonnaise-isms, all right? It's the manner in which you know, address them that's really going to come down to how it benefits you, how you can address it going forward, and the type of, you know, meaningful ramifications that can lead to the other areas of your life because of it. But, you know, that's, like we said, this is all for philosophical entertainment, okay? We don't give advice, stuff like that. You got to take everything on its own accord and on its own account, okay? That's right. So, in the realm of music, in the realm of mayonnaise, all right, when you think of the different brands that are out there, we never really, in this first working demo, thought of the aspects or components that could arise from different brands making different tones, different sounds, things of that nature, right? No, not a joke. Okay? So maybe if we have some other ideas, you should hit the gym again. We absolutely should hit the gym again. How much does it cost? Is it more than 11 cents? That's what we made last month in our literary ad revenue. Pickled Punk Philosophy didn't sell that well. Neither did Transmutating God. Maybe this month. You never know. That's right. We like to keep our hopes up. And same way, I guess, we would keep our hopes up of getting back into a gym or into a workout routine and things of that nature. We really do need to. However, we will say this in our own defense of not hitting the gym. We have curbed and toned down substantially some of our more negative, what we would consider, okay, now we're not nutritionists or anything like that, and we don't give advice, all right, but some of our means of consumption we altered, okay, and it has paid off for us in, you know, a variety of manner and ways, okay, which is fantastic. But yes, they go hand in hand. You need to, you know, do the work to get the results, this, that, the other. It's the same thing across the board. If we didn't do the work in, you know, writing our literary endeavors and things of that nature, then we wouldn't have the foundation to lay it upon. Now, with that being the case, all right, we figured it's Saturday night, right? You know, if anyone's not at a movie tonight, if anyone's not out with their significant others or anything like that, maybe we could go ahead and embark on a small passage, okay? Just the basic introduction on nailing kalimba, okay? Because we feel that it really can, on a Saturday night, just set the mood for maybe what you want to do with the remaining part of your evening, okay? So, we're going to dive into just a passage, a brief passage, okay? A little treat. You don't got to buy the book when we're reading it to you, right? But so that you do hopefully go buy the book, we're just going to read you a small passage of it. All right then, excellent. Ooh, pictures in here. I didn't know that. Oh, wow. Oh. Shipwreck contents. What? Books don't have stuff like that. This one's amazing. All right. Let's read this introduction. Nailing kalimba. When I was but a lad, suckling on me mutter's tit, I could hear that of the sea calling my nature. 'Twas this indeed from whar me tale begins. Nay, 'twas merely upon that of the teat itself, where I suckled the beat of that of the universe. Excellent. What a great passage. Now, that's right. Something to celebrate, Internet. You're welcome. Believe you me, if I had a cliffhanger like that, I'd want to go probably get a subscription to Kindle Unlimited and help me get 0.04 cents per page read. Oh, adds up. Believe you me, you don't need to leave frazzled, okay? We don't want to pigeonhole anyone into that of which they didn't venture or plan on doing on their own accord. So we can't leave you paywalled behind any of our other literary endeavors and things of that nature. Okay, that wouldn't be fair to you, the general viewer. Okay, that's right. Okay, and if there's one thing we want, it's this to never be behind a paywall or anything like that. Okay, that's right. Something to celebrate. So because we don't want to leave you paywalled behind our literary endeavors that are for purchase on Amazon.com or Kindle Unlimited, okay, we're going to go ahead and read for you, yes, a poem from our poetry book. That's right. That's right. All right. Now, you might be saying to yourself, like, what? You're going to read a poem from your poetry book? Yeah. You know, every good philosopher needs to have a poetry book. So we do. Doesn't make us a good philosopher, but puts us in the conversation, okay, for reasons as to why we could be, right? Because we've got a poetry book. Every philosopher needs one. Don't worry about it. Available on Amazon.com. But we're going to read a poem for you so you don't got to go pay for it, right? That's right. Now, if we're being honest, Internet, you know that if you were around any time, like if you enjoy our LimeWire inspired music player on the IPFS, if you're around any time around that, maybe a little beforehand, you know that before you jump straight into reading any kind of poetic works, any literary endeavors in the process, you need to sit, you need to calm, you need to cleanse, okay? Now, again, we don't give advice on how to, you know, conduct yourselves or act or be, all right? But we do want to take it upon ourselves to practice what we preach. That's right, okay? Oh, yeah, celebrate that, Internet, of course. We want to practice what we preach, so before we read you a poem from our book, okay? How poetry, cometry, how cometry, poetry. We want to go ahead and cleanse the air, all right? That's right. Now, like we said, anyone who's followed basic ways of, you know, practice from the 90s onward, all right, you'll understand this is how, before you read a poem, you need to actually cleanse the environment around you, all right? This is just, you know, hands down how it works. Deep breaths in and out while you do that. That was 2, and it takes 3. Everyone knows this. Excellent. That was 3. All right, good. So now that the environment's cleansed, we can go ahead and read the poem. Excellent. Diceth of the man. Andrew of the dices of the clay. Legendary delivery in vulgarest of ways. Funniest of the banter. Wittiest of the joke. Yo mother! Yes. Our poems are pretty good. That's why they're in our literary work, available on Amazon.com and Kindle of the Unlimited. That's right. But you don't need to be a literary fan to enjoy any of our created works, because you can also be a lover of music, a lover of games, a lover of free, okay? Just because our literary endeavors are paywalled for us to try and make some sort of a semblance of a living, you laugh. Okay? We can have our goals and hopes and dreams if we want, Internet. Thank you. That's right. But for those who don't want to venture into any of our paid wall literary works on Amazon or anything like that, you can go straight to the IPFS. Play you some free games. They're all on there. Okay? Play you some LimeWire inspired music player. You want some nostalgic music listening fun? Go to town. It's on there. It's free. It's the first thing in the audio section or whatever on the IPFS. Okay? Link in the descriptification. All right? But as we sit back, all right, as we think to ourselves, with having gotten a working Mayomental demo up on the site now, all right, for anyone who's a fan of the thought of mayonnaise being an instrument, there now exists a digital version thereof with which you can play. That's right. It's a working demo, and with some upgrades, with some updates, with some thoughts, we can make it even better. All right. If anyone wants to email the channel, feel free to. Okay. Give us any types of, pointers on things that you would like to see in Mayometer. Feel free to do so. All right. We live to serve, and by living to serve, we like to make cool stuff, right? Believe you me, there's nothing cooler than taking stuff that we conceptualize with the community or because of the community and bring to fruition and offer right back to them day of, okay? For someone to joke around earlier about mayonnaise being an instrument, you're welcome. It is now. It's on the site. You can play it. You can have some fun interacting with it, doing that of which you do. But as we're out of our swill now, we've had our 7 cups for the entire day. We're going to have to round out and close off and think to ourselves of what additional upgrades, what additional endeavors we wish to take upon Mayometer. Mayomental, Mayometer, Granny's Mayometer. I don't know. All of it's a working title. The demo's up and running. Mayomental's up. You may play it. You may continue to jam your fist within the amount of mayo you would like. But that's going to do it for us now. So, we don't want your subscription. We want your money. Go to Cashapp and give us $1. Downvote the shit out of this and get off our lawn.